Hey guys, so for this video I'll be showing my collection for Shinee. Before I start showing the albums that I have, I would just like to say that Shinee is like one of my all-time favorite K-pop groups ever. I've been following them since their Amigo days, and I basically grew up listening to them, so they are my second favorite boy group, right behind Donbanshinki, but I love them basically just as much, and I kind of feel bad not having a majority of their, I do have a majority of their things, but I'm missing a lot of things, so I feel like a bad shawwal in a way, but I'll explain my collection plans and etc. So let's just get started to showing what I have from them. So the first thing that I have is their first mini album. It's just called, I think, just the first mini album, and it has Nuna no Muyepo or Replay, which is like a iconic K-pop debut song. Almost every a lot of K-pop groups cover their debut song. Then I have the green cover version of Shiny World, which is their first full-length album. There's another version of this, but I think the green one is more rare, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't know if I'll get the other version, but I have this version. Then I have the repackage of the Shiny World Amigo, and this one's packed with songs. It has 15 songs, and if you're trying to collect Shinee, or you're maybe listening to Shinee for the first time, this sound is extremely different compared to what they're doing now. This is kind of very R&B, very toned down version of Shinee. If you take aside the title tracks, which are Love is Like Oxygen, and Love is Like Oxygen is also like very toned down, and Amigo, I would say, it's like the most upbeat song in this, but regardless, it's a very good album. It's just a very old school K-pop R&B type of feel, and as you can see, they look so young in here. Then I have their second mini album, Romeo, and they have the title track for this is Juliet, which is written by Jonghyun, and it's SM purchased the instrumental for Corbin Blue's song Deal With It, so that's something that's interesting. And I have the Onyu cover, back cover, because there's like member covers, and the disc goes right here, but I took it out because it just slips out really easily, but I love this concept that they had. I love Juliet so much. Then 2009 Year of Us. This is actually one of my favorite Shinee mini albums. I love all the songs in it. I think JoJo deserves a music video, but it didn't get a music video. But they performed it on stage, and obviously this has Ring Ding Dong, which is one of Shinee's signature songs. And obviously, this is when I was starting to get more into K-pop, so I have a lot of fond memories listening to this album, because that's when I started getting to know the members individually and then watch Hello Baby, etc. Then I have Shinee's second full-length album, Lucifer. This is probably kind of like Shinee's signature song, aside from like Ring Ding Dong and Nuna no Muyepo. Lucifer got them a lot of fans, and this album is really good as well. And the special thing for my copy is that it's signed by Onyu. I know that he changes his signatures like once or twice, or maybe almost every year, I forgot. But I have this signed by Onyu, so that's something special. And I don't have the repackage of this album, which is Hello, and that's like really upsetting, but I think I'll get it by the end of the year. That's like one of my goals, and why I decided to make this video as well, to hold myself accountable for not having a lot of Shinee things. Then I have their mini album Sherlock, and this is like one of the worst packaging ideas, because this, I don't know, maybe it's just my copy, but I think with time the glue starts to like come off, so you have to take good care of this album because it can get damaged easily. And I have the Taemin version, but I don't know if it's the Taemin or Jonghyun version, but this has different covers, so I just put the hands on the cover. And this mini album is really good as well. Yeah. And I remember this era really 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 well, because this is when Taemin like developed his like vocal talent. That's when they started giving him a lot of lines. So I remember like, why is Taemin getting all these lines? Because prior to Sherlock, he never used to get lines, and then I was like, wait, is this Jonghyun or who's this? So that's a fun memory that I have with Sherlock. Then I have the Misconceptions of Us album, which is basically Misconceptions of You and Misconceptions of Me. I don't know if they're counted as like separate albums, like full-length albums, but I just count them together. But in terms of song content, this is just filled with songs. There's the track list right here. There's like 20 songs in this, so I would count it as like 2 full-length albums. But so this comes with both of the albums and with a separate photo book. And the special thing with this one, again, I got really lucky, and I have let me get to the page, an all members signed page. So, and I actually like it because this is one of my favorite Shinee albums. It's so experimental, and I don't know, I just really love this era for Shinee. And I think this was long overdue, because Shinee took a whole year off in 2011. So it's like SM gave us, like, they over promoted Shinee this year, because they had these 2 albums plus this edition, and then we got Everybody, which is a fantastic mini album. So SM was just over promoting Shinee during this year, and this album is extremely well done. There's no filler songs in here. I definitely listen, if you haven't listened to this, obviously if you're a Shinee fan, or you're familiar with Shinee, you probably heard Everybody or Symptoms. But one of my favorite songs in this is 1 Minute Back. And then I think Shinee took another year off. Then they returned with Odd or View. I have this copy of The Clown. I know there's 2 different covers for this, but I have this one. And I got lucky, and I got my first Minho photo card, because I used to always get Jonghyun or Taemin. But I always wanted to have a photo card for everybody. But yeah, this is, I didn't really listen to this album that much, but I love You. Like, as in terms of title tracks, is one of my favorite songs from Shinee. I don't have the repackage. Again, I feel like so bad, because I'm bad with Shinee when it comes to repackages. So I'm missing Hello, and I'm missing Married to the Music. So that's something that's on my list. Then moving on to more recent things, I have Shinee's album One of One, and again they kept up with the copy, like with this packaging, which kind of sucks. I prefer if they just do like this type of packaging, because that's what SM is doing nowadays, is just having this standard packaging. I would prefer it if they just kept this instead of doing these separate jewel cases because they could get damaged pretty easily. And this album was one of my favorites, if not my favorite, of like boy groups. But what initially pissed me off is that the lack of songs it had. But then they released One and One, and One and One is my favorite K-pop release for boy groups for 2016. And I like the fact that first of all, I hate the packaging because I always think I'm going to break it every time I open it. But the track list for this, good job, SM. This is like Shinee releasing another mini album because they packed this thing with songs, even though the standard edition has like I think 9 tracks, but this has a lot. And I like the fact that they did it separately because the second disc is really different to the first one, because this the one of one is extremely cohesive in terms of like what the songs sound like, but the repackaged songs are like mainly ballads, and then Tell Me What to Do is like a pop R&B electronic type of song, and it doesn't fit the first disc. So I like that it's like an album with a mini album. That's what I called One in One. It's like an album with a mini album, and I love all the songs in this. I was so happy, and I knew I had to get it, so at least I was able to get this repackage because I actually really want Hello and Married to the Music. So that's it for my Korean stuff for Shinee. Now moving on to Japanese stuff, which I'm lacking in that department. So I have Boys Meet You. And the photo card that I don't know if the photo card is still here. Maybe it is, because sometimes I take it out. But the photo card that I got was Key, and he's blonde. I like Key blonde a lot. Yep, so this is like more original Japanese songs, because the first, which is the first full-length album in Japan, is basically Japanese versions of Korean songs, which I've been meaning to get that album, but I don't know if I'll get the special limited edition or like the edition that kind of fits with the packaging with this. I think I might get that one, but who knows. But so I have Boys Meet You, their second full-length album, and then I have I'm Your Boy, the white cover. I know there's a blue one, and I like this album as well. And I am missing DXD and 5, which is really upsetting. I feel so bad for not having them, but I don't know. I'll try to like budget my money to hopefully get that very soon. But there's a lot of comebacks, and then Shinee is making a comeback this year, so I'm really excited. So I'm saving that money for them, and Taemin is doing another solo. So talking about solos and other projects, I will show what I have for like member stuff. So the first thing that I'll be showing is Taemin solo. So I have his first mini album Ace, which is an extremely amazing debut for Taemin, and you know, he really showcased what he's about. I love this so much. Really, really good album. And honestly, I would even admit this, because I didn't like Taemin at first when I first got into Shinee, because like I knew he was a good dancer, but he never stood out to me like when I was like watching variety shows and all that. And I feel like so stupid back then, like looking back at it now, because Taemin is one of my favorite members, if not my favorite. But like he just like, obviously he was extremely young at the time, so I get that he was like a bit more reserved and more quiet. But the drastic change that he had on starting Sherlock, like I believe in miracles, because back then he was one of the most popular members, But like he got a lot of hate for like not being a good singer, and now he's like he shut me up basically because I always put him like as my fifth favorite member. But I love every member in Shinee. It's difficult to pick a bias, but that's like a weird thing. But I used to not like Taemin not have that much interest. Not like I disliked him, but I didn't have much interest in him. And then the iconic Press It, SM did great with this. Like this is again for solo stuff, my favorite solo artist for a male. For 2016. And then we have Jonghyun's Bass, his first mini album. And this is I'm actually more driven to Taemin's solo stuff because it's more pop dance, and that's kind of like, I don't know, I'm really picky when it comes to like R&B songs, and I don't even listen to them that much. But the songs that Jonghyun releases are really like soulful and very experimental R&B. So I don't listen to his solos that much, but I like them. But it's still a really good attempt, and I liked the title track for this. And the solo song, like, it's called like, isn't like the extra track here? It's like, yeah, you get like a bonus track, but still really like this solo. Then I have his first full-length album. I think it's called She Is. And he kept up with that style that he started, but I guess a little bit more playful. But definitely 2016 was a big year for Shinee because we had 2 full-length albums, one from Jonghyun, one from Taemin, a repackage, in the regular album. So that was a lot of stuff. And then last but not least, I have Key's collaboration with Woohyun from Infinite to Heart. And I put this for Shinee because this was more an SM based release. So if you're curious about my collection for Infinite, you can browse to my channel. I have a lot of, actually Infinite is my 3rd favorite boy group. It's like Dongbangchinki, Shinee, and Infinite are like my favorites of all time. But this for this release I got Key's photo card, and this was back then when Woollim was collaborating a lot with SM because they signed like a deal because Infinite got really big really fast, so they were doing concerts. So SM they signed like a deal with SM, and then I think they cut ties now. So they made this collaboration with them because they're best friends. So I really enjoyed this. Delicious is not my favorite thing in the world, but this album was a good effort. Obviously I really want for SM to do a solo debut for Key, and I think I would like it a lot because in my opinion Key is like Shinee's hidden gem and most multi-talented member. I think he's a very good dancer. He raps well, he sings well, he's very charismatic, he's extremely good at variety shows. So he's like multi-talented. So I want to see a solo from Key, and then a solo from Onyu before he goes to the army, because I think next year will be their 10th year anniversary. I think they'll release a special album for their anniversary, and then we'll have a solo from Onyu or something for Onyu is probably in the works because he is the oldest member. So I think that will probably release before he goes into the army, and I think it will, like in my mind I always imagine like what the songs are going to be like. I imagine Key's very pop, extremely pop solo album, and for Onyu a ballad album, because that's what you really get to appreciate Oni's voice, especially in ballads. So, and he has this really unique tone as well. So I really want those solos. So please SM. I love the Taemin and Jonghyun stuff, but I think he deserves a little bit more love because he's like very nice to the fans. But now I'm just rambling. So other than that, just kind of reviewing everything. I want to get the repackage albums, and I'm probably getting Jonghyun's like project albums, and he has a song with Taeyeon, so obviously I have to get that. But like I would say that his like project stuff is not K-pop at all, so it's like not K-pop sounding at all, so that's why I don't have that much interest into it. But I did like the song with Taeyeon that he released this year, so I'll get to probably getting those soon, if not next year, because I want to just support them a lot for this comeback. And so repackages, and then Japanese full-length albums. I don't know if I'll be collecting their singles, but never say never, because yeah. But that's it for my Shinee collections. If you have any other questions, or you want an unboxing, comment down below and I'll try to make a video if I can. Other than that, I'll be continuing to upload more collection videos. I'm almost done with for all the groups that I collect from. So if you're curious about any other groups that I collect for K-pop, you can browse to my channel. I have both boy groups and girl groups. But for my ultimate favorites, I have a lot more. So for instance, I have a decent amount of albums for Shinee, but then for other groups I only have like 4 or 5 releases. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, sorry for rambling, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye.